So I want to explain to you guys why I choose sponge filters for my smaller tanks, especially for planted tanks, and all the benefits that they have for a planted tank. So let's go over to the 5-gallon planted tank and check out what I got going in there. Okay, so if you guys haven't noticed, I did put a black background on the tank, and I actually moved it from the top of the dresser to my desk. I actually just switched those two tanks around. So basically what I want to get into is this sponge filter here and all the benefits that come with it, especially for a planted tank and all around tank health. And in my opinion, a tank is always healthier when there is good surface agitation and good oxygenation. And if you can't tell, there are some really small little micro bubbles floating around. As soon as those bubbles over here pop, it sends a bunch of micro bubbles just floating around in the water. And believe it or not, but those bubbles actually fully dissolve into the water column. And there's actually, this is why it's good for planted tanks as well, because there's actually small amounts of CO2 in those bubbles as well. So you're getting good oxygenation and you're getting a little bit of extra CO2, which is what's leading me to believe why this plant here is purling even with no CO2. It's putting off a bubble every few seconds. I got a couple plants in here that are doing it. It's not just this one, but as you can see there. So the plants are purling, which means they're doing really well. They're getting enough light, they're soaking up those nutrients, and they're growing. And another good reason to have a sponge filter is the simple fact that they're so simple. Like, yeah, they're in the tank, they don't look the greatest, and in my opinion, these I think it's like an XYJAS or something like that. These are actually on Amazon. You can find those on Amazon pretty quickly. They're really cheap. You can get like 10 of these for I think 11 or 12 bucks, which is actually an insane deal. So you're literally getting 10 or 4 filters for like 10 bucks. That's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, all it takes is a little air pump, especially for these super small tanks. This is rated for up to a 10-gallon, and I'm using it in a 5-gallon. So I am getting some pretty good water flow in here. And it has this little nozzle on the top right here where you can actually point it in any direction you want, and it's telescopic, so you can adjust it up and down. And to really save your beneficial bacteria when you go to clean these, you only want to clean one sponge at a time. That way you always have some good bacteria and whatnot. So obviously you just rinse it out in your old tank water, that way you don't kill all your bacteria. But that's just a quick little video on why I like sponge filters more than hang-on back filters for smaller tanks. Now for bigger tanks it's not really ideal, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. If you did like the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.